You're not 100% sure where he is, where the Sejuani is. You have to respect the damage output here at level 1. They're just going to sit under turret, or they have vision, and say, all right, let's wait till these waves crash. And I think Keria will spend most of the early game in lane. So unshockingly, but you know, with this matchup, you can't really leave lane and do a whole lot like Feral tried to do because Ezreal will just get pushed in really hard.
Yeah. And we've seen Ezreal's farm well alone in the past. Everybody remembers Ghost from old Damwon Kias. Here we go, trying to get in there. Very early trade, looking for the level 1, and they're going to get it. Again, you know, Q's down. Varus, he shot off his E. It's like, okay, well, now we just all in.
Yeah, so the lane matchup is cooldown based for Nongshim with their Mantrid Qs and just Qs in general versus the poke here from Varus. So auto attack's not as strong. The lane for T1 is about damage and autos.
Here he is, level 2 now, looking for a little bit extra damage. As up on the top side, Zeus did this to Kingen. He's looking to do a little bit more there against Dundun.
Every time these abilities are on cooldown, Guma can look for the trade.
Oh, flash on in from Peter, looking to get the trade onto Guma. As not really going to work for him, as he gets extremely low. It's very difficult to trade into this duo.
See it, Q's down. Keria is like, all right, just going to come in here, get some of these autos, be very annoying, build up this support item. Sickle just allowing you to farm towards those wards so early. We'll see a level 3 gank from Oner. We talked about this. If you're left alone...
Sylvie cleared the top side of his jungle, and now he's looking to gank mid. Very interesting. He's going to delay, you know, coming to the bottom side of the map, which is where a lot of the pressure is going to be. Look at Faker trying to bait him in, and he will do that as Oner is going to get the jump on Sylvie here. A lot of damage already. More focus onto Fiesta from Faker.
This is why Oner is such a smart jungler. He just sees, he's like, okay, if Sylvie's not here, he's probably going mid. We're not going to push the issue on the bottom lane there. We don't have to. We have a nice lead right now. Just going to go mid and make sure Faker's okay. Push Fiesta out of lane. And his read is correct. And they see Sylvie. Faker reads it well too. They're communicating. You can see how they move together. And they're clearly sharing information in a matchup where that can go very poorly for the Azir if an early gank does succeed.
Yeah, and Zeus should know that the Maokai is basically just going to be on the top side of the map unless he wants to back and just do nothing. So he's going to put down a ward. He's going to knock him into the turret as Zeus is trying to trade onto Sylvie. Actually, he has to be very careful. He's going back and he's got the range advantage now. Accelerated shock blast as Zeus just kind of laughs at both of them.
Yeah, 1v2 casually. Just not interested in having a longer conversation about this. I need you guys to leave my lane immediately as he chases them. He will have to expend his flash. Trades it for a ghost, but I mean, Keria now, with the control he gave his laners early, or he gave his lane partner early, can roam around a little bit. Now, it's always a question. Is he in the lane? Is he hiding in the brush? Or is he helping out the around the map? This is one of the scariest parts about Twitch.
Jonas Strong just making this even more interesting as he's keeping the Twitch secret. He's trying to give us the Nongshim experience.
Now that he shows, Vital and Peter can push this really hard. And this is the moment where you feel like, okay, we have the information now. But until that moment, he could be literally anywhere. You just have no idea.
Yeah. Might be a plate here. Keria shows bottom side, clears the ward. And yeah, I mean, now that Guma's got his E online, he's got a couple of levels. He even got a little back in. Should be totally fine to just go solo, but also, as we know, Oner and Keria are in the area.
Baited!
Yep, there is a Sejuani here. Flash comes in, but Sylvie is here as well. There's the freeze on the Karma, and Peter does not have Flash. So down he goes, first blood to the Twitch supports.
And who says that Varus counters Ezreal? Guma's actually winning the 1v1 on the other side as well. Oh, until that moment, but
cursed. Oh, look at this as well. Fiesta trying to take aggressive trades against Faker, but
oh my god, no way.
This is something that Faker's done many times before. I mean, well, Zero versus LeBlanc. Fiesta dies.
Yeah. Scorch, I believe.
I don't even know what else to say. Like, that is the play. Fiesta dies.
He wants to dodge the Comet and still burns down. Unfortunate, Valdez. Flashless now on the LeBlanc. 16 CS down. It was your dream to face Faker.
This was the counter pick into Azir, by the way. Not to mention this bottom play.
So, Peter knows Keria is there. He showed, he cleared the ward. Peter comes up. He doesn't know Owner's here. No flash. Really just a miscalculation. And yeah, this is just, it's not the trade you want. Gets the root and then stays here. Meanwhile,
okay, they're going to try to go here onto Zeus, who is in a little bit of trouble. They do burst him down, as that is a whole lot of CC between those two. But guess who's here? It's Keria. He's level 3.
I don't know if he should be though, Valdez. I don't know if he should be.
The Twitch is like, oh God, I got to run away. He has only the bow for the extra attack speed. And yeah, you know, maybe that was a little bit overzealous from T1's top side.
Yeah, a little bit, but it's, you know, it's all in good fun, and Keria's trying to make an impact here at level 3. We saw the same with Barrow, where he falls really far behind in experience because he's making an impact everywhere else. The goal of this Twitch is to get enough ahead with your early gold, or like grab enough gold to grab your early ward item, like upgrade your sickle, and then go around and basically get both of your solo laners ahead. That's the game plan here. As control ward is set up here for Dindin, and Blast Cone allows Sylvia to come in here, and they think they've got him cornered, but actually the Jace is super vulnerable in this case. Dindin pops ult, and Keria, he gets knocked in here, will have to flash.
Yeah. Very disjointed, very nice timing from the side of Sylvie to get over that wall at that exact time, and now no flash to the top side. Zeus is going in on a Cassante. Smite onto the ranged minion. As, okay, trying to trade it back here onto Sylvie, but not quite enough damage from Zeus, who will go down to 0 and 2 now on the top side.
100% kill participation here for Sylvie. We talked about the jungle matchup as the key player one, how Sylvie's been the more consistent, one of the more consistent parts of Nongshim, and you know, now in this game, he's 100% kill participation. He's made an impact. He has punished some of the overextensions here of T1, and they've kept the gold basically dead even here, despite some of those earlier problems, despite a dead Fiesta and no flash. The top side of the map is going very well for Nongshim here, and this is a support Twitch that has a lot of damage, but utility-wise not going to be as strong as a lot of the other options versus a Karma here. And he's finding himself a little bit down on experience because of all the roaming.
Yeah, does mean that Guma is up a level on Vital. It's not the biggest thing you look for with 80 carries, but still going to be nice for Guma.
Don't know where Keria is.
There's the Ignite. It's up now. The slow comes down onto Keria, which is Vital, as now they're trying to snipe him down. Very nicely handled from the side of the Nongshim bottom lane.
And that sheepish grin from Keria on the player cam as well. He knows he's doomed. He doesn't have flash, and they're very well aware of it.
Now Owner's just kind of running in here as he's going to get rooted down. Tries to trade onto Peter, who just flashes away from that one. That's another kill to the side of Nongshim. Guma does have some potential to clean up, but it's still a little bit too early for the Ezreal.
Yeah, certainly is. Fiesta going to come up here, top side, unseen. Remember, Valdez, when I said, if by some miracle Nongshim get a lead in this game, well...
Nice knockback. They have a lead.
Yeah, now you have to hold on to it, though. This is what I was saying earlier. Like, even if they get ahead, but now we're looking at a 200 gold lead, 5 kills to 2. T1 got that
the Infernal, yeah. It is going to be very, very nice for them.
LeBlanc is not a champion yet in this game.
Yeah, Peter now, no flash for him at this point. As flash is available for Guma. And where is the Varus? I'm trying to do a little dance here against some of those Ezreal Qs, as that one is going to sail wide. There's the Chains of Corruption. As a ton of damage, and now Guma's got a flash.
All right, T1 flying a little bit close to the sun on this one. That was well played by Peter. He knows the E is down, gets the root, coming over with his 80 carry. And that's a root, forcing a flash from Guma. And now this is going to be bottom side control, as Fiesta is still just trying to exist.
Oh, Fiesta.
Trying to exist, and it is, it's a hard time.
Yeah, couple plates already. Owner still here.
The one place where everything is sunny, everything's thumbs up, it's red colored on the gold diff big time, is in the mid lane, where Faker has a 20 CS lead, a kill early, plate gold.
I would love if he just went Crown into Lichbane again and just made the internet go insane. Also builds a collector third.
I think in this game...
Probably not.
I think in this game, Crown is very weak into the Varus, but...
And the LeBlanc.
Yeah, true. I think he's probably just going to build... well, we'll see. I don't want to counter tickets for Hatch, but... If he just goes Ludens, I think it's pretty solid here. All the squishy backline champions and extra damage on the LeBlanc for those trades is
Fiesta,
where are you going?
he felt safe, you know. He has Sylvie nearby, and yeah, T1 are going to spot Sylvie now as best Fiesta does come back. A little bit of poke there. Zeus is getting traded with here pretty aggressively by Dindin. Zeus not really having any of that. We'll take the better of the trade.
Really awkward for the matchup here for K'Sante into Jace because Jace is ranged, well, most of the time, and so you can't really pull him into your turret. So when you take trades like this, when the wave is out away from your turret, you just don't feel confident to actually ghost in and go for the ult and push into turret like we've seen into so many other melee matchups. So Dindin just really left out to dry by his team here and can't do much into this range matchup, just trying to CS under turret. Has 2 kills, but still, it's a product of the matchup, not the lead in this game. Doesn't have a mythic either. That's not doing him any favors.
Hey, Keria hit level 6. 13 minutes into the game. And his 80 carry, Gumayusi, is also down in levels to Vital, which I suppose that happened after the last couple of trades, and he had to leave the lane pretty sheepishly. Turret?
The punish here for Nongshim attempted. T1 show the respect. The turret survives with 72 health. I think wise not to overextend there with that big rotation up. Guma pretty behind here on the bottom side of the map. That Dirk is paying off in dividends here for Vital, who's just pushing these waves in, threatening the Ezreal nonstop, knowing the Twitch isn't going to show up because he showed in mid, has to back away. This game is winnable for Nongshim. And it's just, can you hold your lead, right? And it's not a gold lead right now, but they have spikes on 2 of their champions coming up here. The K'Sante is about to be really strong in team fights. The Varus is already strong. The big problem is that this LeBlanc is kind of a paperweight for now and will be for a long time.
It's going to be a little while. Faker is going to pick up that turret and put down the Azir turret as well. He's very confident. He has flash. He's level 10 compared to like Vital and stuff like that. We are going to have the ultimate coming out here, trying to get the flash on in. Nice sweep away, but the damage might be too much here from the side of Nongshim, as he will go down to the LeBlanc, just barely. That's Ezreal, by the way. He can use Arcane Shift to get away. That is a lot of damage, though, and he's going to go down!
That's Ezreal, by the way.
That's Ezreal, by the way. Very, very squishy. Keria will be able to pick up the kill on the backside of this, but immediately goes down.
Vital is playing this game really aggressively, and he understands the vulnerabilities of this Ezreal. And Ezreal Twitch, is it a thing? No? Should it be a thing? No. Is it a thing in this game? Yes. Will it be a thing after this game? Probably never again, actually. But Varus knows how to identify when there's an opportunity, when there's a moment. Guma dodges one of Varus' big and painful skill shots, but cannot dodge the second. Because, yeah, down here, meanwhile, Owner does commit. And Fiesta's looking for chains here.
Nice.
Really good prediction. This was really cool from Guma, and then he steps forward, and he's too close. And he has Keria nearby, and even with the flash, the arrow still goes in that line. Should have flashed in a different direction as Keria just barely finishes off the kill, but will pay for it with his life. So lots of gold traded on the map. How many kills are we up to now? 12. Still with T1 having the better macro here, having a 2 Drake lead, and a significant gold lead, 400 at this point in time.
Yeah. The fact that they were able to get that turret, or rather the second Drake, I should say, is extremely nice.
And mid-turret.
Yeah.
Because that gives Keria a lot more breathing room.
Yeah. Fiesta, he's like, wait, I'm playing LeBlanc. I'm supposed to be like really slippery, and you're not really supposed to be able to catch me, and I'm supposed to be the one poking you. And T1 are like, no, we're not going to let you do that. Spending a lot of focus and time on the lane that Fiesta's in.
Faker did go Leandries. No one's upset. I don't know if we mentioned that yet, but that was one of the questions because he was sitting on so much money. He didn't back for so long that he didn't buy it. Now he's got almost a Void Staff too. So lots of damage on this Azir. The one consistent part of this for T1 so far in the second game is Faker. He's very upset that we did not vote for him in game 1. Not actually, but...
Not playing Lissandra this time, because that actually did happen.
Yes.
Got upset, played Lissandra, had an insane game.
that Genji series.
Should vote against Faker more often, just so we see games like that more often. If that's what it takes.
Gotta say, game state here for Nongshim better than I thought it would ever be in this series. And yet still, T1 have a lot more leverage. They have a lot more control over the map. They have more longevity in this comp because, yes, Guma did die. He's lost his flash a few times. He's been punished a few times by Vital. But he's still Ezreal going into a late game scaling game where they have two forms of poke and consistent Azir damage. And this LeBlanc still so significantly behind, now a whole item behind, that where does this come together here for Nongshim outside of T1 overextending for fun, let's say? You know, that's kind of how some of these leads have been gifted. The punish has been good. Well, they haven't been able to turn it into anything malleable that you could say, okay, I've got control over the game now. This Herald will do a decent amount of damage to this turret.
Some decent damage there. Here comes the Rift Herald as in goes Fiesta, trying to poke a bit. That is a extremely squishy support. If you are going to play the Twitch, you basically don't have a health pool. Some nice poke coming out from Zeus as well, but doesn't look like T1 are in a position to really challenge this, especially with Keria just out of the fight.
It's a solo Drake here, solo Ocean Drake. Keria finished his Nashor's Tooth, by the way. T1 normally trades these for Barons, but I don't think they have the damage in this comp. And they're just simply going to come over here late for the contest, and we'll just have to give this one away. But again, not that significant on its own. T1's still kind of pushing, posturing towards Baron's Leandre's Azir, and
oh, no scan on that ward.
This is the T1 way.
They're like, oh, we're safe. Okay, that's going to be one ward that Keria spots.
TP for Fiesta is up.
This is very obvious to the side of Nongshim that this is happening, and so T1 will back away. Fiesta going pretty deep. Not able to land any chains either. Zeus has flash. He will have to use it as well. Nongshim, though, with no more Nature's Grasp.
It is very funny that T1's tendencies in these games are so, because they're so clean, you could just read it from a mile away, and that ward wasn't cleared, so it's really easy for Nongshim to come over, but you just know T1 are thinking, okay, we let the Drake go, we've got to go for Baron. It's just a T1 move, and not really correct in this case unless your opponent just drops the ball, doesn't see you. They get pushed away, the flash has to be expended. T1, it almost feels like in this game in some ways have forgotten how to lose, or how it feels to be behind, rather. Not forgotten how to lose, but like,
yeah,
you're behind in this game with a comp that you expected to just steamroll with this Twitch support, and you're like, all right, well, we can't do Baron here. We have to give this Drake. We're still in a good spot in this game, still a gold lead, 1,000 up, but let's not get too overzealous. This game is kind of the opposite of game one, where T1 was just like super safe, no errors, and then T1 is like, all right, let's just go in deep. Let's just make every play. And now I think it's going to get to the slow part, a little bit more measured.
Perhaps a little bit. I mean, it's a very even game outside of the Drakes. And, I mean, I know Nongshim, you know, maybe it's just there, okay, well, I'm going to have to hold that thought as Fiesta, you know, he went in for one, distort too many, perhaps, as Faker really going to punish him on the backside of that. Not able to get the kill as here comes the ult. Oh, man! That was so close.
Doesn't have to flash, luckily, has his distortion back up. Whew, scary moment there, Valdez.
Okay.
Predicting a flash.
Yeah. I suppose it would have looked cool.
He's had some really cool ones this series, so we'll give Vital the benefit of the doubt here. He's like, oh, he's going to predict my flash. Just won't do it. It's not going to hit me. Here comes
consistent, not cool ones are the ones that win you games, though. You know.
True.
It's just the ones, the guy's standing there, you're like, okay, I'm just going to hit him.
Keria, be very careful. This is one of those games that makes you want to like hold your breath. Like it's it's one of those games that feels like we're watching a game of golf where it's almost turn-based.
Uh-oh. Yeah, he's not in a good spot. Dindin is even going to proc the Ghost. As maybe he can get over a wall with this. He is going to bring the Sejuani with him. Try to get over there, as that is a nice little dash away. And Sante gets away against 3 people.
Guma loses flash here during this. And I don't think Nongshim could start a Baron, but K'Sante lives. Guma's flash is down. Small victories, Valdez.
Faker, nice turret, but kind of on the wrong side of this.
Small victories, Valdez.
Yeah. Sylvie.
He doesn't want to advance, or maybe he doesn't have it. Definitely could have been an opportunity there. Force Faker's flash. Faker just walks out of this one alive.
Faker's doing a good job of really bolstering his damage per minute numbers. It's like if he sees an enemy, he's going to go at them regardless of situation.
Yeah, the flowchart for Faker is definitely all the boxes to say go in. It is a game that leaves the mind perplexed. You know, it is a game of League of Legends that makes you wonder what could have been, or what should have been perhaps. As Guma, you can see he's holding 1,300 gold behind his opponent. Vital having now the Eclipse with the Ghostblade online. Muramana coming up soon. Is going to be hitting that third item spike, unfortunately. Not in time for this Drake fight, but it's not Soul because they were able to pick up that last Ocean. Double TP committed, however.
Yeah. This Maokai is pretty scary. Sylvie's doing a lot of damage already, and he's able to soak a bunch of the poke that's coming out from Zeus, from Guma, from even the Azir. And this is what you can do. You throw out the Nature's Grasp, and now Owner's in a lot of trouble, and there's no real follow-up just yet in the Twitch. Keria has popped the ult, though, and that is going to push them back for now as Faker looking for the potential punish, but not going to go in on this one just yet. Still just able to do a ton of damage and push them back.
Yeah, no deaths, but a turret goes down. Fiesta.
Zeus dashes in. It's almost like he's trying to bait this one as Faker. Uh-oh, Dindin, that was very confusing step forward.
Indecisive. Okay, a lot of these health bars very low, though. Can Vital actually finish the job? Is the question. Sylvie's got a sapling in the brush. T1 might just have to back away from this Drake.
A lot of damage here on Faker. The flash and the chains are going to hit, and Fiesta will be able to get the shutdown onto Faker as the rest of the team is going to come in here and try to burst down this Ocean Drake. Should be able to.
High risk here from T1. High risk. Really high risk for low reward.
Sylvie is here. They're just going to back off of it. It's getting relatively low, but all of T1 are low as well. And to get in and take the Drake down, that is now 2 Ocean Drakes to the side of Noxium against a bunch of poke.
Yeah, I mean, that the way that this could have gone wrong for T1, if they stick on this Drake and they get wiped there and it's a Drake coming through, it's disastrous. Is this ult here, you know, somewhat skeptical about the usage of this because of the objective that's up, but ends up grabbing a turret and they get away. Nobody is punished, and then the turn onto Faker, not ideal from Dundun initially, but then they are able to turn this into a good play. As whenever live comes up like this, you get scared that T1 is doing a Baron.
They're doing the Raptors.
They're not doing Baron, not yet.
Very scary moments as they take the jungle camp.
Gonna be a scuttle of vision here for Nongshim. Gonna clear this ward out. T1 have to play around this. Dundun does not have teleport. T1 should be aware of this. Zeus does, so he can match him in the side, and then T1 can play around that poke with the Andres damage with Gumusi on this Ezreal.
Both teleports were used on that last fight in the mid lane, which is pretty annoying for Nongshim. I mean, they get in position, but at the same time, you're down 2 teleports now, and T1, we know how scary they can be when they get control and then they kind of just teleport onto an objective and take it down as
he gets his
3 items for Vital.
Yeah, he gets his Muramana, Ghostblade's right back to mid. He's trying to get to this objective as fast as possible. Fiesta's starting to get online in this game, still very behind Faker, but has a Banshee's Veil. And he's getting some poke done. He's more utility, weirdly enough, in this game, and I think as a threat to follow up from Vital's poke, a strong champion as Dundun stays down here. Zeus hides with that teleport available. T1 just don't have enough control over this pit to actually force this. Even with Dundun having teleport disadvantage, it's really risky.
Zeus is really laying into the Cassante here. You can see even Dindin can't really go into the Jace. The thing is that Zeus doesn't really have that much kill pressure because Dindin can just play it passively, right? He can just sit back. He's got his teleport now, actually, and he can just wait near the turret or at least back in the lane and essentially just farm it out.
See a rotation down from Keria. Very risky here, potentially, if he's caught by Vital. As the mid push is really good. Like, they have a ton of wave clear with this Varus pick. Guma stuck under turret. Owner alone here, clearing vision.
Yeah, the chain's not really going to go through, and Owner should be fine, I think. Faker is here. Peter not too much of a threat to help on that kill.
Still Nongshim with a lot of mid prio here with this Varus, setting up for something like this. Owner has to ult.
Well, this is one way to kill the K'Sante. The Twitch is definitely going to help here as teleport has to be used. They're still going to go in on this as they teleport themselves. And now the K'Sante's super low, so Fiesta has to back away.
Here comes the ult.
Into a 3-on-1. The ult is going to catch Keria, and now Fiesta back into the fight. He's going to burst down the Twitch, as immediately Keria is not going to have any more effect on this fight. And the rest of the team from Nongshim, all 5 members here trying to punish onto Zeus, who will dodge very, very nicely onto all of that poke. A very broken up fight here is Guma with the red buff trying to kite this one out. Flashes to the team. But a lot of damage coming through from the Varus.
I mean, he's got him trapped in here. You got to win this fight, T1, or no one's going home except in body bags here. There's no way out.
Oh, man.
Nice dodges again, but how do you win this fight?
They're just dodging everything. Fiesta hops in, hops back. And they will take down Zeus. The rest of the team hanging around the turret. And Dundun TP's back into this one with full health. As the Azir turret will eventually go down. And they are just corralling T1, who are trying to poke them away. Trying to keep them at arm's length. As Faker gets a massive sweep onto 2, but it's only 2 as everybody else is here. And Guma, unfortunately, is just going to get K'Sante on the backside. Nongshim handled this perfectly. And we're in a really good spot now.
4 kills here and 1,000 gold in the lead as Keria's trying to catch any stray members who are low on health here with this cloak and trying to reveal the angle at which Nongshim is going to approach this Baron right now. But he's very vulnerable himself. We'll have to flash the wall. And he's out of here now. T1, 30 seconds on Faker, 10 seconds on Zeus. He has a teleport, but I don't think you can contest this. There's nothing Keria could do on his own.
Well, oh man.
Flash?
It's going to get flashed on, and the turret, or rather the ward here with the teleport might be enough as Zeus is trying to come in and take down Peter. Not quite going to get it, but Fiesta is taking the beating for him.
Pulls him off the Baron.
Will be enough to take them off the Baron.
Still a teleport committed here. Nongshim had plenty of time to back off here as Faker still hasn't respawned. But man, T1 are trying to force some of these plays so hard with his Twitch support onto players like Dundun here. TP comes through, and at this moment, you can make the choice to either just try to back out here slowly or commit Faker's teleport in against the Maokai. You don't know where he is. This is why Maokai is so strong. You can fight in a side with Maokai almost always. Now T1 going to try to sneak this Baron in live. The rest of Nongshim should be able to identify this quickly. They're heading over.
This is not going to work. It's T1. I mean, they do this all the time. Right?
Yes,
okay, he's going to see him. Yeah, he's actually going in onto Faker. A little bit scary. That was a split call, by the way. There were a lot of pings onto the Baron when Keria went bot, and then Faker TP bot. So it was essentially Faker saying, no, we're fighting this. And unfortunately for him and the team, Nongshim were a lot closer as a 5. Very zoned play where a couple of members. Zeus will be totally fine, but he takes a big chunk of damage.
He does take a bunch of damage, and the choke point control here goes to Nongshim. He needs an Edge of Night or something here because he's one of the best targets for this comp right now.
These fights are just so all over the place. Owner is totally going to get caught out as Faker was with him, but Faker zipped away and Owner can't do the same.
Guma has to back off here with his E. Keria hiding here, but I mean, it's such a risk to actually engage. Will he commit with the rest of T1 collapsing? I don't think it's a good call. But T1, you don't want to give this up either.
Dundun actually in a little bit of trouble here because Keria is behind him, but look at that! Fiesta takes out the Ezreal, and yes, Dundun goes down, but at what cost? As everybody on the side of T1 now is going to be totally wiped.
I think we're going to a game 3, Valdez. I think we are going to a game 3. T1 getting a little bit too close to the sun. And Nongshim say, we will not be disrespected in this game. We will play it and fight it tooth and nail. And there are going to be some sheepish looks on the T1 players' faces after this game. Twitch support, another loss here. And Nongshim Red Force 20 kills to 7, pushing to try to end.
Can they do it is the question. Owner the first to come back. And they've got a pretty nice wave. Sejuani can't really do anything against this. He's desperately trying to hold on. He does not have any help from his teammates who are not up here. He's trying to get on top of Vital, but Vital will have enough. And Keria, he's got an ult. I mean, he's got a chance. There's the Ezreal ultimate. This is a lot of damage on the members, but they just target down the Nexus. And we will have a game number 3.
Peter and Vital had an amazing game of League of Legends.
Team are a great team.